Can't hear you, so
Don't get mad before we start.
Lord, you done messed me up. I ain't do none of the stuff I'm supposed to do. All right, here we go. I don't know where they sent the thing. I'm not going to worry about that at this point because the devil is a lie. What's good, everybody? Tuned into another week of Access Granted to Posturing. Your boy, Mr. Swain, is in the building. And this week I got my sister.
Hey, y'all.
Stacy Rose is in the building. Girl, where you been? I ain't seen you in 57 years.
Hiding out, living my best life as usual. Always hiding, always.
Always. What's been going on? Everything's good in your world?
Everything is good. Everything is good. I just celebrated a birthday.
Happy birthday to
Thank you.
We going ahead and let y'all, Scorpios get all y'all fun out the way because y'all know the real season starts very soon.
Whatever. Listen, okay, as Scorpios, we, tend to dominate all year round, but, we have our moments and we're here.
Scorpios. You've been smoking on something good today. Nah, shout out to my Scorpios, man. I love y'all. I know a lot of Scorpios, and everyone that I know, with the exception of about two of them, is super dope and okay with me, man. So I love everyone. I love everyone, regardless of the sign. So, real quick, man. Before we get into this show, man, y'all know I hate starting on bad news. Y'all know I like to have the energy right when I start the show, but we haven't been on the air in 2 weeks, and there's been a lot that's happened since we've been off, man. First of all, rest in peace to Takeoff.
Yes.
From the Migos.
Yes.
The sad part about that story, and of course this isn't confirmed, but it seems like he may have lost his life to, what do they call it? Friendly fire. They think that there's a chance that the person that fired the shot that killed him was actually somebody that might have been there with him, unfortunately. So
Wow.
That's just another life loss. I tend to not worry about circumstances so much and just look at the fact that that's another brother, in hip hop that we lost.
Yeah.
I wanted to say rest in peace to hip hop legend Hurricane G. She was one of the first Puerto Rican female rappers, and she was also the mother of Eric Sermon's oldest daughter. So rest in peace to her. We lost MC Tame One from the legendary Artifacts hip hop group. So hip hop is really taking a hit this week. And then, of course, on a local level, everybody knows the situation that happened to Tyree Coleon.
Yes.
My thought process about that is, regardless of how you felt about the guy, regardless of how you felt about the situation that caused the police to shoot him, whether you thought it was excessive, whether you thought it was whatever it was, that was still somebody's father.
Yes.
That was still somebody's son. That was still somebody's brother, somebody's friend, somebody whatever. Respect it in that manner and keep all of the personal stuff aside, because for me, it's kind of corny to then come on social media and have that energy that you wouldn't have had directly to that brother if he was still here.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
By Mr. Antoine, or those are Mr. Antoine. I didn't know the brother that well. I literally only met that brother in person one time, and that was at the 2014 Crown Awards. And the one thing that I noticed that night, I knew who he was. I knew of him. energy changed for some reason. This was at the Baltimore Sound Stage. The energy changed for some reason when he walked into that building. It kind of felt like that aura of Suge Knight walking into the BET Awards, where people kind of automatically just went on, high alert, like, yo. Again, I don't know anything about that. I know he was an advocate with everything that he was doing with no shoe zones and all of that. I actually supported him financially on that. I sent him money at times when he was going live and asking for supplies and stuff like that. And so I'm the type of person that if a person doesn't do something to me, then I don't have a problem with it. If he doesn't directly, do anything to me or anybody that I love, then it's all love between me and that person. So, my condolences out to his family. And we have to keep thinking about, man, mental health is real. We don't know what people are going through. We don't know the circumstances that happened to drive him to that point. But it was just unfortunate that it happened. And it's definitely unfortunate that it's kind of like playing out in front of the world, because that video of the actual shooting, was circulating all over social media since literally 5 minutes after it happened. So rest in peace to him. And then, of course, as you and I were talking about right before we went on air, damn, rest in peace to my brother Lucci, man. My brother Lucci.
Rest in peace, Lucci.
Bro.
Oh.
That hit me like kid. I'm not going to lie. That hit me like kid. That hit me on that level.
Yeah.
We lost him a couple of years ago, man. So, it's a cliche saying, man, tomorrow's not promised, bro. You literally never know. And did you have a chance? Did you ever work with Lucci?
I haven't, and it's so super duper unfortunate. I didn't even know until today. I had an awaiting friend request from Lucci, and I'm like, so.
Wow.
This week has just been like weird. Like my birthday was definitely bittersweet. I lost a really, 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 really good friend of mine. Rest in peace to Corey Banks. My condolences and love to the Banks family. Corey was an amazing contribution to the music scene. He was a DJ, a real estate agent. Whew, my goodness. And it was just so crazy because he was just one of the voices that I was really, really looking forward to hearing on my birthday. Never missed the birthday. Never missed an event. Just wow. And it just, even like the day before, like takeoff, I was like, what in the world? Like, what is going on? Like, just a lot. All up and down the timeline, like to the point it's just kind of like really numb to a lot.
What can you say? You know what I mean? it's life. About this, unfortunately, on a very regular basis. It's been like a rapper a month for the past 3 months or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. So, again, man, I count my blessings every day I wake up amongst
every day.
Like we really say that and kind of take it for granted, and the fact of the matter is, man, it's not. You can't take that for granted because you literally just so. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to all of the families, man. All of the families affected, man. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out about Tyrone's situation, man. And I just,
oh man,
bring that brother back. That's the thing that I want to get people to understand. Like, nothing's going to bring that brother back, man. So all of the nonsense that you might have, that you might feel about him,
or you may have encountered with him. I mean, to be completely honest, that probably everyone has, seriously, but still prayers to his family, his children, even the young lady that was involved in the situation. Prayers to her. recovery to her. Oh my gosh, she was right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just yeah.
But I gotta change this energy because I'm not feeling this at all.
Oh, but I'm so happy to see you.
I was feeling myself because you know what? I started to go live today and talk about some stuff, man. But I was like, you know what? Like, this ain't what.
I've been in jail, so I couldn't even go live and say anything. Like, literally, I couldn't go live on my birthday. I've been in jail, so I'm like, I'm gonna just keep quiet.
But the stuff that I had on my mind when I saw some of the stuff that I was seeing on social media, that's not what this platform is for.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what this platform is for. So I'm gonna just leave it alone. I'm gonna continue to show love. Shout out to the last official weekend of Baltimore Ceasefire this past weekend. I heard they had an amazing event. They had a concert. They are actually rebranding and coming out with another name that is yet to be determined. I do believe it's going to be officially announced on Access Granted around December, January, just because, you know, that's what we do. But, you know, unfortunately, there was a lot of violence in the weekend, you know, in the city this weekend. I believe 10 shootings, 4 resulting in death.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when that happens, especially on a Baltimore ceasefire weekend, people tend to have that attitude that the Baltimore ceasefire is stupid. They're wasting their time because they're not making any different. But you have no idea the difference that they're making with the movement that they want to. I always want to shout them out and salute them in everything that they do. And like I said, they're in a rebranding process. They were actually doing a contest for a new name. I put my name in. I'm not going to tell what I put in. I don't think it's going to win, but I think my name is dope. But
you never know. You never know.
Looking forward to the rebranding. So yeah, that's about it, man. That's
really big. Congratulations.
Yeah. Shout out to my girl Tipsy Fiend. Y'all see the logo that's on a new background, which happens to be purple on a purple Monday as the Ravens are about to play. I just thought I would throw that in.
Sip coffee.
She is my partner. And now signature Long Island iced teas that will be coming to you very, 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 very soon.
Okay.
We actually have one more small tweaking that we have to do this coming weekend, and then I think we're going to be ready to start taking pre-orders on that, man. So for all of you Long Island iced tea lovers, we will have 2 flavors. One will be the Baltimore half and half, and the second one will be determined after we do our small tweaking this weekend because we decided to go away from the black cherry flavor.
Nice.
Because of this acidity level and all of this other stuff that me as a non-bartending, non-mixologist person, you know, technicalities and everything that goes into that. So we will do our tweaking and announce the other flavor this week, but I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's something I have to put on my list. I'm not a Long Island iced tea drinker, but I'll definitely try. Try.
I promise you will have to try. You'll have to try the Baltimore half and half because that's the one that creeps up on you.
Okay.
You sip that one slow. The black cherry one that we had, as soon as you taste that, you know you went for a long night. so that one was not a joke. That one hit you like a Tyson punch on your first sip.
Okay. I think that's probably the one that I actually want.
That would be.
I think that's the one that I actually want.
So when we tweak that and we bring it back, I'll let you know what it is.
Okay, definitely.
The potency will be the same. The flavor will be different. That's
okay.
That's the best way.
Got it.
So, yeah, but I'm looking forward to that. As well as some other stuff, man. The merchandise is getting ready to come down the line.
Yay!
We've been nominated for Podcast of the Year on the Baltimore Crown Award.
Yes.
Quarter of the year. I've been nominated as Radio Show of the Year, even though I don't have a radio show any longer. And I've also been nominated Host of the Year. Now,
yes.
I'm confused as to whether that meant like the host of the podcast or hosting events?
I mean, well, you definitely have done your thing as both. So, I mean, I think it's fair to say both. Not
So
too sure.
I literally just had
I
that
was,
as I was talking about it because I was looking at it as like hosting events. And when
yeah,
I posted that yesterday, I was like, I haven't really put in a lot of work this year hosting events. I've only done like 2 or 3. So I know that there are people that are more deserving. But then as I was sitting here just saying it and I thought about it, it could mean like hosting the show as well. So if that's the case, yeah, go and vote for me for that too.
I can't.
Just go to the website. It's on
Just
my
vote for me for everything.
my name. Just click it. Just click it. Just click. Just click.
Just click it.
Man, but like I said on the post yesterday, I stopped nominating myself for those award shows because I think it's kind of corny because everybody can go and nominate yourself.
Yeah.
So when I found out yesterday that I was nominated for 4, that means that somebody else took the time and enjoy what I do enough to feel like I should be nominated. And for me, that's the win. That's the win for me right there.
Yes.
If I go there and I walk away with 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever, that's all fine and dandy. But for me, the win is in the nominations because that means somebody is recognizing and appreciating what we're doing here at Access Granted.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters to me. And I hope to see you, Stacy, out on
you that to be determined. To be determined. I mean, I just may. Honestly, I just may.
Okay, I hope so.
Who knows?
Leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. Don't say nothing that's gonna, I'll just leave it at that. I hope to see you because it's always an amazing event. Shout out to Shinyear.
Definitely. Shout out to her.
Yeah, and it's always an amazing event. So hope to see you in the building. I mean, I would love to see you on the stage, but
see, that's why I say it's to be determined because you for somehow always trying to throw me under the bus. So yeah, I don't know. I may have to like come in a disguise or something and not talk.
That's not gonna happen. Anyway, all right, man. Special guest in the building, Katherine Swain. Step up to the stage.
Beautiful Katherine Swain.
Hello.
Just glow.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How's everything going in your world, and where are you joining us from?
I am joining you from Northern Ohio.
Hey, shout out Ohio.
Close to Lake Erie, so yeah.
You're a Buckeye fan?
What was that?
You're a Buckeye fan?
I mean, I like Ohio, but I'm not like a big Buckeye sports fan.
Okay. Good answer. Yeah. Good answer.
But the Ohioans really take their sports serious. I learned since I moved here. They are very diehard fans. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it's actually sickening at times. They almost Steeler fan, but I understand because I'm pretty much the same.
Excuse you?
Yeah, I was going to acknowledge the fact that I'm the same way about my Baltimore Ravens and everything, but
okay.
I don't like the energy that's coming. I don't like the way you're coming at me right now, sis.
Sorry, just had to step in there for my team. Win or lose.
And who would that be?
The Steelers. You are so lucky I don't have my scarf on. I'm telling you. It's okay. It's all right.
Hey, my brother-in-law is a Steeler fan, and I told him the only reason y'all didn't lose this week is because y'all had a bye week. So enjoy the week off without a loss.
It's been a great week. Thanks.
We'll see y'all soon. No, shout out to the Steelers, man. Y'all going through your little thing, but it is what it is.
We're trying, okay? We're trying.
You'll be back. Let's get into it. I love you, Stacey. You ain't been here in like 3 months, so
I know.
But I definitely, Katherine, appreciate you. Shout out to MJ,
yes.
As always, for making things happen.
Right.
If I do win the award for Podcast of the Year, I gotta break the award in half and send half of it to MJ because she literally keeps my calendar packed with guests.
That's right. Yep.
Shows why she's the 4-time, 5-time, however many times it's been publicist of the year. Like
I was about to say she'll be getting her award. Don't worry.
Yeah, she's she's probably like they
Yes,
probably
MJ.
just put her name on the plaque now and just don't even do the votes for her. But shout out to her. And speaking of which, we had Has G on the show.
Okay.
Earlier this year, and I understand that you are working with this legendary producer. How did that go about? And just tell us a little bit about that experience of working with that guy.
Oh, it's been a great experience. I met Haas through a mutual connection.
Okay.
He knows a DJ from Columbus, Ohio, DJ Kid Magic, who used to scratch with him when they were in the UMCs. So they've known each other for a really long time. I met Magic back when I was in high school, and he was the first studio that I ever went to record at. So we stayed connected throughout the years, even like if I wasn't working on music and stuff, he was always there, in the back saying, hey, what's up? How are you? Trying to keep that connection going. And then I started working on music again a couple years ago, and that's the first person I went to. I went to his studio because I moved to Ohio, so I was a lot closer to Columbus, and we had made some demos and come up with some songs, and I was getting back into songwriting again and, recording and singing and everything. And we had maybe a handful of demos, and he hit me up one day and he was like, hey, I know a producer that I want you to send your demos to. I think that he would like them, and I think that you should do it. And I was a little nervous about it just because, you never know, and you're just sending your work out like that. But I had seen on his Facebook where he posted about Haas, and it talked about how he was, a Grammy Award winning producer, and he had worked with, 50 Cent, Lil' Kim, and Busta Rhymes, and all these amazing artists. So I was a little intimidated, but I was like, obviously Magic knows what he's talking about. So
you answered my next question right there.
So I have to, send it out. So my husband kind of pushed me a little bit, and I ended up sending the music out to him. And then a couple of days later, Magic called me, and he was like, hey, you really did something. And I was like, uh-oh, what do you mean? And he said, when I was talking to you about sending your music to a producer, I was talking about a producer here in Columbus. You saw Haas's post and thought that it was Haas that I was talking about.
Oh, wow.
You sent music to Haas, but he contacted me and he really liked what he heard. He wants to talk to you.
Wow.
So we had a conversation over the phone, and it was just kind of like, what are you trying to do? What am I trying to do? Is this something that could work out? And we've been working together ever since, so it's been absolutely great. It's been wonderful. Very lucky.
So to
that
get
is awesome.
a stamp of approval from him had to ease your comfort level a little bit. Because I know you said that you were nervous at first.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a great
Shout out to your confidence, because wow.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, especially kind of getting back into the game and getting that, that okay, like, hey, let's work together. He liked what I was working on, which was just, some demos I was trying to put together. And yeah, it was, it's great. It all really flowed, really naturally as far as us meeting. And then ever since we've been working together, it's just been a great connection. So I'm very fortunate and very happy to be able to work on music and to be able to work with people who know what they're doing and people that I can trust that know what they're doing, and really just understand where I'm coming from and understand where I am writing from. And, if I send them a song, I don't ever get a kickback that says, no, I don't like that. So that's a great feeling.
So you said that you just started back working on music. What caused your break?
Life, a lot of life. I was very indulged in music heavily in high school. I sang since I was really little. And then I kind of stopped singing, I guess, through my mid-20s. I just had a lot going on in life that I was, other stuff that I was really concentrating on and really giving every ounce of my energy to. So I've always sang. I never stopped singing. I just went from now singing at home by myself to trying to put myself out there a little bit more, which is a
Mm-hmm.
great feeling. It's nerve-wracking for me, of course, but it's been great. And music and writing is definitely like a therapy for me, an outlet. So that's always been like a healthy addition that I've added back in my life for sure.
So during that break, have you discovered a sense of balance? Like, I have to have that home time, that me time to nurture my craft, my writing, to actually produce good music. Have you kind of sort of found that balance, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've found a good balance just with the lifestyle I have right now. I'm very much so a homebody. Like I could be in my house and never leave and I'd be just fine. Um,
Same.
and I kind of live out in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of nice because I can come home and if I want to write music outside and sit outside, I can, and I can be as loud as I want to, and I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, it's good. It's just my biggest balance that I have a hard time with is not overusing my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love to sing no matter where I am, if I'm by myself or not. So since I started working on music a lot, I just found that I need to be more conscious in resting my voice
Mm-hmm.
more often so I can kind of protect it a little bit better than what I was usually doing. So that's probably been the hardest thing to find a balance to. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you don't have to have a concert every night in your living room. You can plug it up, once in a while, give it a rest. So that's kind of a big thing for me, trying to figure out like, okay, just be quiet for a night. You'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. That's so hard. For me, it's the kitchen. So I understand. It's
Yep.
always the kitchen because,
Yep.
you get the pots and you got the whole rhythm going, It's
Yes. Cooking is so much better when you're listening to music or singing too. So
exactly, exactly. But now that voice, tell us where did this voice come from? Where, like, it's like so homegrown. It is so extremely unique. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but I did my homework, okay? So I listen, all right? So like tell me well, just where did this voice come from? Like where?
Before you answer that, can I
yeah.
tell you that I was not looking directly at the video when I first started to play it, and as soon as I heard the voice, I thought Lisa Stansfield.
Oh,
And if you know
oh
who
my
Lisa
gosh.
Stansfield has been around the world, it took me there. So you can go ahead and answer the question. I just wanted to put that out there because it took me right there, literally.
I have been singing since I was very young. I mean, I can't remember a time when I wasn't singing. So that's been just a part of who I am forever. And I've always been a what I call like a belter. I belt when I sing. I sing heavy from my chest a lot. I don't necessarily know like why or where that started, but my early influences were definitely, and this was like mid 90s. So Mariah, Whitney, Christina were my big three early on influences. So I definitely think like singing their songs probably had a little bit of a impact when you're that young and you're, singing around your bedroom and, doing your own thing. Um, but yeah, like my grandparents sing, so I've always had, you know, older influences in my life as far as that goes. My grandma, kind of put me into the church choir and got me set up with voice lessons when I was younger and that kind of stuff just because she knew. My parents are definitely not singers, but they absolutely love music. So I've just always had a great, growing up with music, being surrounded by music, being surrounded by performers for sure.
Mhm.
And I think that that has a lot to do with it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I've heard you mention that before in in my homework that I was doing. You mentioned that those three influences, you've broken them down as life influences. Um, can you tell me more about that? And I really loved it because I really connected with you when you said that Christina was like your biggest because I love her. Like she's her. Like so can you talk
Yeah.
more about that?
Um, Yeah, so I don't know, the way I look at it, like I have life influence as far as music goes, and I have kind of more short-term influences. So Whitney, Mariah, Christina, Beyonce, Rihanna, all those great, amazing female vocalists I grew up listening to and grew with them as they kind of grew as artists. That's what you do when you pay attention to somebody from such a young age. You know, you're growing while they're growing, their music is growing with them as an artist, but you're going through stuff as you're getting older and it connects to what you're going through. So I definitely think of them as like lifetime inspirations, but like shorter term inspirations would be like, for example, Summer Walker. Like I've started listening to her maybe the past 3 years, I think, when she really, really blew up. So that would be more like a short-term influence. I love her. I'm obsessed with her music. I could listen to it all day long. I could sing to it all day long. But I've only really known about her for 3 years or so. So same thing with like Jasmine Sullivan. I didn't know about Jasmine Sullivan until her most recent album dropped. And then it was like, oh my God, why did I not know about this person? Because she's that amazing. So yeah, I definitely have like more people that I've paid attention to throughout a long time of my life, and then people that I've kind of just caught on to that also are just as inspirational.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jasmine's fine as long as she's not trying to bust the windows out of folks' cars and stuff.
Oh my Lord.
She be going through some stuff in her music, man, but I love
Don't we all though? Like, don't we definitely all? Like, it just it's an effect. Like, it's an effect that actually brings entertainment. So, you know,
Why not?
good entertainment.
Right.
So I want to know. I want to know what it was about watching that Puffy and Faith Evans performance that really touched you to the point that it kind of like brought you back.
Oh, I don't know. Like it was such a, I think like a moment when I was probably what year was that? 97, 98?
97.
I think like 97. Yeah.
So I would have been 7 years old, you know, sitting in my living room watching that with my mom and my brother. I can remember it. I can picture it in my head. I just think like witnessing, you could tell like how full of pain everyone was when that was happening. I remember seeing Tupac and Biggie's moms on stage talking, and I was so young, you know. But I don't know what you can feel when people are hurting. You can feel when people are holding that pain in. And I think that even if though I was that young, you can still sense that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's touching for anybody, no matter what age they are.
The fact that he had Sting come out and perform that song with him did it for me, because
Right.
every breath I take, that's like my, back in the day, that was my joint. And of course, they, you know, the song was a remake of that song. And when I saw Sting on the stage, I was like, yo, this. They could have just shut the show down. Nothing else had to happen on the show after that, just because of the fact that they had Sting. But that whole performance, you know, because of the circumstances surrounding it,
Right.
like really an amazing performance.
Epic moment.
With you, that kind of made me look at Puffy as a pure entertainer. Like that dude can really put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, I've seen him live sometimes afterwards and kind of understood, but at that time I was just looking at Puffy as a sidekick. You know what I'm saying? He got Biggie, he has 112, he's got Faith, he's just a sidekick. But that kind of made me look at him as like a true performer, because apparently he put that entire production of that song together.
And it's so like, this is something that I enjoy talking to other people about so much, because there's so many different outlooks. Like for you saying that Sting coming on stage was such a big moment. For me, being 7 years old, I didn't know who Sting was. I just knew that some guy was walking out on the stage. You know what I mean? But I think that that's what's so important about covers or sampling, is that you're causing this music to continue to live on through more generations and more generations.
Right.
There's so many songs that I would sing growing up, and my mom and dad would be like, "Oh, you're singing that song? That's, you know, it's funny that you would sing that song." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's a Mariah Carey song." And they're like, "No, that's a Journey song that she redid." You know what I mean? So I don't know, like a lot of people complain about sampling and complain about covers and that kind of stuff, and it's not maybe artistic enough or whatever, but I just think it's so important to continue to use such great music, you know, throughout more and more generations, and what you can do with somebody else's art is so important.
Definitely agree. Remaking history.
Yes.
Yeah, that's and I was
Mm-hmm.
going to say that's kind of like a bridging the gap thing, because like you just said, you had no idea who Sting was. You know what I
No.
mean? And
Right.
I'm also, as we're sitting here talking about this, I'm thinking about I want to say it was the Grammys when Eminem performed with Elton John.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
I've known of Elton John since I was a little kid, because I used to love the song Benny and the Jets for some reason.
Mm.
And that song ended up being remade by Mary J. Blige. Not the actual Benny and the Jets song, but the beat from
Yeah.
Benny and the Jets actually
Mm-hmm.
redone by Mary J. Blige. So I love the fact that music allows you to pull those generations together.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of times I'll see a lot of young people, and they have a song that they like, and it's like, oh, this is fire, this is fire. And I'm listening to the beat saying, okay, this is, you know, such and such from 1977. You know, this is such
Right. Right.
from back in the day. And when you look at somebody like the Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind and Fire, these guys are like people that are some of the most sampled artists in the history of music. I think Rick James was also one of them. Like, it's good to be able to, you know, to see the younger generation, you know, again, I'm gonna just keep using the word bridging the gap, because that's actually what it is, and understanding and respecting the history. Now, and a lot of times you got to give the credit to the producer,
Right.
because more often than not, it's the producer that's doing the sampling and coming up with the idea. Like, I'm quite sure Biggie had no idea who Mtume was when he redid It Was All a Dream.
Yeah.
See, he had no idea that Juicy was, you know, from them. And I remember the scene in the movie when Puffy showed him the album cover, and he was like, "Who are these Jerry Carroll dripping?" And it ended up being one of his biggest songs of all times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love when, you know, and on that note, let me ask you this: if you had a chance to do a cover of your favorite artist's song, what would it be?
Lord, that's a hard question.
Because if it's a song that you know, I might ask you to do it on the acapella segment. You know,
I better pick. Better choose wisely then.
I was just that was with the whole rest of the Catherine. Choose wisely, honey. Choose wisely. Cause Antoine gonna get you.
A lot of my favorite songs that I love from, you know, Christina or Mariah or whatever are songs that even now I can't necessarily get through. You know, so
really?
I love. There's a song called "Can't Take That Away" by Mariah Carey, and it was on her Rainbow album, and it's an absolutely beautiful song. So I would love to do that song, but it's a difficult song. Every single one of her songs is a difficult song. I also love "My All" by Mariah. I would love to be able to cover that in some way, shape, or form. I remember being very young and just like watching that video on MTV. It would pop on, and I was just obsessed. I was obsessed with the song, the video, the woman, the whole thing. So I think that's probably one of my top songs that I would love to be able to do one day.
My All would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of her greatest. Oh my gosh.
It's a hard song though. It is. It's a different.
I actually wish you don't. So when I mentioned Lisa Stansfield, you didn't react to it. So I'm assuming that you don't know who that is, correct?
No.
All right. So I'm gonna give you some homework. I'm gonna need you to go and look up an artist by the name of Lisa Stansfield.
Okay.
Who, until I saw a picture of her, always thought she was a black woman because her voice is so soulful. And she has this one song that we used to love back in the day called "Been Around the World." And like I said, when I first heard "Make Up Your Mind," I clicked play, but I had my other laptop up and I started looking over this way because there's a little introduction to the song before you actually start singing. Mm-hmm. So when you started singing, I was still focused over here, and I was like, Lisa Stansfield. Like, And if you go listen to the song, you'll understand, and you'll thank me because that's a great compliment.
Yes, I will. I have a lot of homework to do, so I will definitely look into her.
And then learn that song by Thursday so that you can do it on that. No, I'm just playing.
See, I told you.
I'll get on that.
I'm just playing. So I want to know a little bit about like your writing and recording process.
So I record in Columbus, like I said earlier, with DJ Kid Magic. He has a recording studio called Advantage Recording Studio. So it's the first studio I've ever sang in. It's the studio I still sing in today, which is great. And so Haas will a lot of times send me a beat, and once I get that and listen to it, and as long as I connect with it, I'll try and sit down and write with it. And then once I have a good amount, I'll go to the studio and kind of put that down, take it back, and then I'll start working either like on a second verse or working on ad-lib kind of stuff, just kind of playing with it. So a lot of times I'll go back and forth with a song to the studio a couple times. Sometimes there's tracks like Make Up Your Mind and like changes where you hear it and it's immediate. It's like, okay, I know that's my beat because I'm going to write something to that. And then like with Make Up Your Mind, we were in the studio. I was with Magic and my husband, and I was actually recording a different song. We got to the end of the session and Haas called us and he was like, hey, I just sent you another beat. So we pull it up. He starts playing it. Magic starts playing it immediately. And it was just like right then I knew, like,
That's the one.
Yes, I have to get to that. I hardly ever sit and like really write a full song in the studio, but that moment I sat there and wrote the hook in the first verse for Make Up Your Mind right then when I heard the beat. And then we tried to put at least a little something down so I had something to take back with me and continue to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the most part, I like to just write in my own space. Mostly I like to be at home. I like to have, my setup, my drink ready, everything I need.
Yes, nice little feng shui. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like
yes.
So I get my little nest going and then can just kind of post up and work on music and see whatever, comes to me. I like to do it that way and then take it to the studio and lay it down is my favorite. When I was in New York last, which was in May and the end of April, May, I had worked on changes a little bit at home. I think I had written like the hook and then the first verse, but I hadn't done much after that. And I was kind of stuck. Like I've done a little bit, but nothing is really coming to me. So I worked on it on the way to New York because my husband and I drove. So I had a lot of time to work on it. And then when we got there that night, we went to the studio and I got to record at a studio in Brooklyn, which was absolutely amazing and beautiful. And it was the first time that Haas and I were really like working together on music together face to face, which was a great feeling because we had done everything through phone call and email up until that point. I had met him in person, one other time before that, which was to shoot the video to Make Up Your Mind. But it was so refreshing being in a studio all together and just being able to create and being with people who want to be there and want to create something great and people who love music. It's just a really great feeling when you can find those people,
Yeah, definitely.
So Stacey, I know you can relate to this because you've talked about this in the past. When you get these beats, Katherine, and you start to write, does any of this ever become therapy for you? Yes. Like, do you hear these beats and like they bring out something that that make you want to write about stuff that you've gone through, situations from the past, ex-boyfriends that you threw off the bridge, or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, music is definitely my therapy. Writing is my therapy. Both singing and writing are just different kind of forms of therapy, but they're both as equally important. So, like when I sing from like this place in my chest. I can't describe it. It's like anywhere that you feel a feeling, or when you get butterflies in your stomach, or when you get really horrible news, that's where it comes from when I sing. That's the best way I know how to describe it. So if I'm upset about something and I go off and I sing for an hour or two, it's just like a physical release. You feel better for some reason. You know, you've let it out, which is great. And the same with writing, it's just a different form of it. After I write a song, especially after I write it and then record it, it's just a total physical, mental, emotional release that you get. So I definitely lean on it a lot if I'm struggling with things. I would like to eventually transition to a point where stuff that I've journaled or written in my lyric book that's already down, I can then turn into a song, which I haven't really delved into. It's normally here's the beat and then I write to the beat. And a lot of times the beat kind of dictates what the feel or the vibe of the song is going to be. So even though I'm connected to the song, it might not necessarily like be therapy in that moment, because I might be in a really bad mood about something, really heartbroken about something. But if I connect to a beat that's like happy and joyous, or reminds me about like a good part of love, then I'm going to write to that because I love the beat and I connect to it. But I would like to get to a point where I can take lyrics or something that I've written down and then create a song from that, because that's really like a true emotional moment that I had in that time that I had to get those lyrics down. And that's, you know, the most amazing part of music is just the emotional connection that you get from it. So I think that's a great way for people to be able to connect to your music and the feeling that you're going to put in your music. It's something that's so important to you.
Yeah, I love that. Shout out to Allison Swain. I'm sorry, Allison Webb. She said, "Love you, K. Swain." Thank you for tuning in. I love Mary J. Blige. She's one of my favorite artists, not because she's the greatest singer in the world, not because she's the greatest songwriter in the world, just because like she's so transparent. Like every Mary J. Blige song, you feel like you're getting a part of Mary J. Blige's life in some way, shape, or form. Like she's never had any problems just like opening up and showing a vulnerable side.
Right.
And I think sometimes, you know, as artists, people tend to want to act like they're not going through things in life. You know, they want to tend to act like, you know, life is all peaches and cream. And Mary J. Blige from day one been like, look, if you look into my life, this and see what I see. You know, this, hey, and she's been taking us through this journey, you know, for 20, 25 years now, and every album that she drops seems like it's another chapter. You know, we've seen her go from, you know, being sad and being on drugs and going through heartbreak to being happy to then going back to being unhappy and all of that stuff again, and you know, and back. And I love when an artist can just like be willing enough and open enough to put that out there and be truthful.
Yes.
Because you know, not only is it helping you, you know, as a person, but I'm quite sure there are millions of people that are touched by Mary J. Blige. Like I go see Mary J. Blige perform live, and every song she plays, like if she didn't want to, she wouldn't have to sing it, because every woman in that building is singing that song. You know what I mean? I love when.
What an experience that probably is too.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. I think it can be very, well, number one, that's why we love Mary's, because she's real and she's honest and she's open and she lets that vulnerability go. It's terrifying to think about doing that, because you have to be 100% open with people. You can't hide stuff. You have to let it all out, and that's terrifying. You don't know how it's going to be perceived, and it's just your deepest, darkest self. You know what I mean? Imagine having to do that all the time. That's crazy. But if you can, which I still am working on it, but if you can open yourself up like that to your art and let your art touch other people in that way, it's you're going to get the best response, because you're getting such a genuine human connection. You know, and that's why we all love music. That's why we all listen to music, because it makes us feel something, you know.
Is that why you are attracted to sad love ballads? Is that why, like, is that where you can be your most vulnerable?
Yeah.
And like really like get that deeper connection with your audience?
I think I don't know if I don't like just I'm not attracted to those songs because it's going to force an emotional connection. because how can it not when you listen to a love sad song ballad? It's just, I guess because of my experiences through life, it's what I connect to the most. And if it's what I connect to the most, then when I let it out and when I sing it, it's going to also transpire when it comes out of me that it is a genuine feeling or feelings that I have felt or am feeling. So I just think that's, that's the key to it all. That's the ticket to it all, is being able to let yourself be open and vulnerable and share those emotions with other people.
My man Damien says, "Share my world is fire." And Damien, first and foremost, bro, thank you. He said these deep cuts, deep cuts be really bringing out the best in the artist. Yes, absolutely. But I want to give a shout out real quick. I'm totally off subject. I got to give a shout out to Dame. That dude right there, he's about 3 feet tall, but he swears he's my father. But I love that dude to death, and I really owe him a lot because he was one of my first original hosts on Baltimore Flavor Radio, and he actually stopped doing a show that he was about to start doing to come and rock with me during that journey.
Nice.
And he rocked out with me for about 3 years, and I'm not going to say that I wouldn't be where I am today without him, but he definitely played a part in building the foundation of where I am today. And I love you, bro. Thank you for tuning in, because it's been a minute. I ain't seen you up here in a while, man. Thank you. But yes, he says cuts really bring out the best in an artist, and I agree with that, because again, I got to keep harping on Mary, man. Like, she and it's somebody else. Oh, David Hollister. David Hollister is another artist who everything that he sings about comes from the pit.
That place.
Literally, yes.
When you're already an amazing singer, and you're already amazing as an artist, and then you can write that kind of stuff that really brings it out. Shout out to Has. He's tuned in now. Phantom of the Beat. Shout out to when you can bring those out, and it's just something about that soulful music that you can tell is coming deep from within, especially when you can tell that it's been written by the artists themselves and they're not singing somebody else's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Stacey, as a writer, I know that you can truly relate to that. There you go. Shout out to my man.
Oh yeah,
Shout
definitely.
out to you, hey, salute to you, bro.
It's always great when you can listen to somebody sing and you can feel their pain.
Mm-hmm.
When Mary sings, you can feel, it's almost like you can feel what she's feeling through her voice and through her lyrics, but definitely through her voice when she's actively singing.
Yeah. So I gotta put this back up. Like, this is a real legend. Like, I can't even skip over this. Like, this dude is from the UMCs, and when we had him on the show, I got his resume, and his resume is like the length of both of my arms. Yes. And then if you connected 2 more arms at the end, like, oh my gosh, man. Hey, thank you for tuning in, bro. But like, how do you feel just getting that stamp of approval from someone that has the right to give you that stamp of approval, if that makes sense?
It's insane. I struggle a lot with, anxiety or just confidence in what I'm doing. So having that person there who's very confident in what he's doing and what he's representing and where he comes from, it just feeds into me. It helps me so much to be able to be like, no, it's okay. Like, I got this. And, since the beginning, he's always said, just be yourself. No matter what, just be yourself. So I always keep that little voice in my head when I do stuff that I might be a little like, oh, I hope this goes okay or whatever. I always keep that voice in the back of my head. Just be yourself. So he's a great mentor for sure.
Yeah, I got the sense from talking to him that, accolades aside, you get to know him as a person. He's like the most humble dude. He's the coolest dude. He doesn't care about, all of that stuff that I've done in the past. It's about what we're doing now and how can we make this great. And I'm sure that's kind of like the relationship that he has with you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Very encouraging, very supportive. Everyone from New York has been incredibly supportive. I love them. I love everything about it. I can't wait to go back and be with them. So I'm looking forward to that day.
I mean, Baltimore is only 3 hours away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, cheer. You know what I'm saying? Stacy gets mad at me because every time she comes on the show and we have an artist, I try to get them to do a collaboration. I'm not going to do it tonight, Stacy. I'm not going to throw you under the bus tonight. I was just, you know, we got some dopeness here.
Definitely. I'm waiting for you to play the song. You know, that's like my favorite part. I was
actually about to go right there. Katherine, you want to get into? I'm gonna start calling you K Swain. I like that, K Swain. Okay. We're gonna get into this video, but I want you to take a minute and introduce it while I get it set up.
So the video that you're going to play is Make Up Your Mind from, this is my first single that came out, and there's a video on YouTube for it. And then my third single that just came out is Changes featuring Rhyme Rekka. So yeah, I've got a lot going on, and it's great.
Super dope song.
It's a great
All right, man, we're going to get into this, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about this EP that K Swain is working on. We'll be back with more Access Granted. Let's get
Thank
this.
You.
I was about to say, my mouth shut down on me.
I've been here with you since the start. Boy, why you play with my heart? I need to know why you doing this to me. We've been through some ups and some downs. I've always been around for your love. Can't you do the same for me? Then you said that you're through with me. Then you said that you never leave. Then you said that I'm all you need. Boy, make up your mind. Then you said that you're through with me. Then you said that you never leave. Then you said that I'm all you need. Boy, make up your mind. How can you just walk away after every word I say? I need your love. I want you. Listen to me. And then you say that you're through with me. Oh, baby, 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 why can't you see? I need your love. Show me love. Then you say that you're through with me. Then you say that you never leave. Then you say that I'm all you need. Boy, make up your mind. Then you say that you're through with me. Then you say that you never leave. Then you say that I'm all you need. Boy, make up your mind. Oh, boy, show me love. 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 Oh, boy, show I need you. Oh, boy, show baby, I need you. Oh, boy, show me love. I need your love. Then you said that you're through with me. Then you said that you never leave. Then you said
Yo, that song is so fire. That song is so fire. Yo, just make up your mind, bro.
It's very simple.
It's not
That's where I'm going. Like, you're making this a lot difficult than it has to be, bro. If you're saying that, just make up your mind. Now,
That's
so I have to ask: is that one of those, cleaning out the closet, cleansing moments, or is that just what you were feeling as you were writing to the beat?
No, it's definitely a cleansing moment. Really, I mean, I think for a long time, the songs that come out of me will be kind of a cleansing moment. But that's always good. It's good for me, and it's great for the song and the music because it comes from my heart and it's real and honest. So, you can't go wrong with that.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about this EP now. And I see the way that you just lit up when I mentioned that. So I'm assuming that you're excited to hit the world with this project. Talk a little bit about where we are with this and what we can expect.
We're still working. The more songs that I keep working on, the closer I'm getting to me as an artist, I guess is the best way I know how to describe it, because I haven't really put that many songs out. It's nice, like the more I work on it, the more it's like, okay, I'm finding my sound. I'm finding the kind of sound that I want to work on, the kind of sound that I want to put out there. So, I'm very excited to get an EP out or an album, whichever, whatever way it falls, depending on how much work we have done when we're ready to put it out. But I also am enjoying just creating and being able to continue to grow as an artist. So I think it'll just kind of be one of those things where we keep working, we keep growing, and then when we're finally like, okay, this is it, then we'll have hopefully a good amount of songs to put out there, or at least a good amount to pick from, so we have quality music coming out from Phantom Music. That's the goal. So yeah.
So how, like, on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the most difficult,
Yes.
what has this process really been like? Has it been uber stressful? Are you ready to get it over with, which on the scale would be like a 3, and then 5 and then 5 being like, it's like definitely I'm just up here and I want it out?
I think it's a little bit of both, because I want to get my music out. I'm like itching to do it. Like with Changes, we had Changes done in May, and it's been hard to keep it at bay this long. So any chance that I can to get music out there, I think it's beneficial, just because I am a new artist and I don't have that many songs out there. So I think it's important, so people can try and start figuring out, okay, who exactly is she? Mm-hmm. What exactly is she doing? What exactly does she sing? That kind of thing. But at the end of the day, if something comes out under my name, and especially if something comes out under Haz's name, which is just as equally as important to me, I want it to be good music, and I want it to be quality music more than quantity. That's kind of the thing we talk about. Yeah, people out there that put songs out all the time, and maybe that's great and that works for them, but I want to make sure, and we want to make sure, that the music that's coming out from us is good quality music. So that's the main thing. That's the most important thing, I think, right now, is that even though I can get antsy with being patient, very much so, that's, at the end of the day, that's, the most important thing. So I will be very excited when it finally does. But,
That was an amazing answer to that question. But I got to piggyback, because now, so my question to kind of like be the 1A to that is, so when do you know that you're ready to start actually putting it there?
When Haz says no.
Good answer.
I think it's when we feel like what we have done is I think you just know. I think you know. I just think it's one of those things that you can feel and you know when the time is ready and it's going to come to you when it's time to happen. I do. I just think it's one of those things. But at the end of the day, it'll be a group decision of like, okay, here's what we have. Are we comfortable moving forward with what we have? So that'll be, definitely a group decision. But Haas is my mentor, and I always am looking at him for his opinion, and that means a lot to me. So at the end of the day, it's a little bit of both.
Well, if you have to have a mentor, I think he's a good one to have.
Right.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like the way that technology is set up today, with everything having the ability to be so instantaneous, do you feel like that's going to work to your advantage, where you can like literally just put a song out tonight if you wanted to at midnight, and the world could literally hear your music, by 12:02, honestly?
Right. It's such a beautiful thing that all these people have access to put their art out like that. Because think about like 20, 30 years ago, it was only a select few that could really get it out there for other people to hear. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I think you can always use different things to your advantage or disadvantage, depending on what you're trying to do and depending on your knowledge. Because there's a lot of stuff that I just don't really have knowledge about that I need to continue to educate myself on when it comes to literally every aspect with this music, and getting your music out there and the resources that are available. So I definitely need to continue to educate myself on that. But I think it's a great thing to be able to do that. I think it's great to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to put this song out there and I'm going to drop it tonight, and you can do it if you want. And that's awesome. Why not?
And we've been corrected because Haas isn't in the building. Phantom of the Beat is in the building. We apologize. He has his producer hat on right now, so he's not Haas.
He does. Phantom of the Beat in the building.
Yeah, either way you look at it, just again, man, a real legend. It was an honor to sit down and chop it up with him. I think our show was probably close to 2 hours a week that we had him on, because he just has so many stories and just so much good stuff to give. So at this point now, once the music, and I kind of look at this now as 2022 is coming to a close, like the quarter. This is like the fourth quarter as far as the music world is concerned. Once you have this music ready, what can we kind of expect from Swain from that point on?
Well, I definitely want to try and work more on performing. I need a lot more experience with that, and I think that is just, it's great when people can take a song and put it in their car and listen to it and connect to it. That's wonderful. Or wherever you listen to your music, whether you're, in the kitchen or in the car or wherever, that's great. And people connect, yes. But when you sing live for people, as hard as it is for me sometimes, that is where you're really connecting with people. That is where you're really, I think, in my opinion, creating fans. Because when you see somebody live, it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And you're I don't know, you're more inept to having that connection. And then it's like, I want to see her when she comes out again. I want to make sure I'm, following her for when her next song drops, that kind of stuff. So I definitely need to work on performing and setting all that up and practicing. I had my first performance in a very long time in August at Distro Fest outside of Philly in New Jersey. So Mag Distribution, shout out to Rob Schwartz. He put on a festival for a lot of his artists that he distributes. So that was awesome. I've never been to Philly, so being able to go to Philly and kind of, see what's going on, and then being able to perform my own original song for the first time was quite an experience, because I've never sang my own song live. It's always been somebody else's song, covering someone else. So that was a great experience. And so I just look forward to taking that experience and being able to perfect it even more, and then continuing to work on it. So, yeah. I want to work on performance.
Somebody actually commented under your video that they saw your performance at Distro Fest and thought that you did an amazing job. I don't know if you saw that on your YouTube video.
No, that's so nice.
Saw that, yeah. So salute to you. Obviously, you did your thing, and that's a great point. It's great that you want to have that opportunity to kind of, start getting on the stage and perfecting your live performance. Because, like for me as a music fan, I've gained fans of music that I didn't originally like when I had the opportunity to see them perform live. And then there's songs that I've absolutely loved, and when I've seen an artist perform live,
I think,
and I'm kind of, you know what I mean? So I think it's a great point that you understand, how important that is, as an artist, because you're not just a singer at this point. Like you said, it's great to get in the car and ride out to the music, but it's a whole entirely different experience when you have the chance to see a person bring that music to life.
Yes, it's great. And one of my biggest insecurities as an artist is performing live and singing live for people. And it can be incredibly frustrating when you let those nerves get to you and you don't reflect the talent that you really have because it's been overshadowed by your nerves or by your inexperience with something. So it's important to me that even though it makes me uncomfortable, that I push myself to do it, because the more comfortable I get with it, then the more I'll actually be able to show who I am as an artist, what I'm able to do, and being able to be comfortable enough to open up and be vulnerable on stage so you can have those human connections is so important. And I'm not going to get there without practicing, so I can sing in my living room to myself as much as possible, but it's different when you get out on that stage. So I always love it afterwards. When I'm done, I'm always on cloud 9. It's just I have to get comfortable with during. And a lot of that is that confidence too.
Yeah, and Stacey, as someone who's performed several times, does that just come with repetition, so to speak?
Oh yes, definitely. Like the practicing in the living room. That's like definitely, if you don't become your own biggest fan, it's not going to work on the stage. Right. Like it's not ever going to work on the stage, because that's where you create those magic moments. And like you said, those human connections. If they see you struggle to create that magic moment, that's it. Like right. That's literally like that's it. You don't want them to see that. So you have to, yes, practice in the living room. For me, like I said, it's the kitchen. Practice. Like again, become your own biggest fan. Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Stacey, she gets mad when I call her out and when I compliment her. But this is a good thing. There's been a time that I've seen Stacey perform backing up another artist, and I'm not even gonna lie.
He hates it.
I'm like, hurry up and get to your verse so we can get back to the hook, because I wanted to hear Stacey. I'm not gonna mention any names, but there was a time, and this was early on. This was a while ago, and I was like, yeah, well, hurry up and get back. I just love Stacey's voice. But yeah, we are. We're definitely looking forward to like what you have to offer. Like, I'm not even going to sit up here and say, like, can you give us an idea? I know that when the time is right and you're ready to release everything, I'll be getting an inbox from MJ, and I'll be like, yes, and I'll get it there. And
right now we're focused on doing a video for Changes, so that's definitely the next step.
Okay, so I am that kind of like artist that is, I'm a fan first. Like I don't even I don't, that's why I always hate, like, I'm such a humble person. So when people talk about my artistry, I'm just like this. Yes, because I'm such a fan of everyone else. Like, I had fun doing my homework on you, okay? I had fun. Because I love your voice. Like Antoine said, the beginning of that video, I didn't know what I was going to expect. I was like, oh, I'm completely taken aback. I was like, oh, but that song changes the beat.
I know, right? I know.
Oh my god! I'm like, your voice complements that beat so well. Oh my god. I can't wait for the visual now. I'm just like, yes. Like I love when Antoine books me to co-host for fellow artists because I really get to really fan out. And this is like I just get so excited. I had a really fun time researching you, like seriously.
Well, and I think that's nice for those of us who are being interviewed too, is to be interviewed by people who genuinely, like what they hear and are intrigued and interested, and that's great. So I appreciate that from both of you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I love
it's always fun to just really discover other artists that are like on the same path, just working regular people, just wanting to, put our stamp in the artistry world. So I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that's happening for you. Blessings on blessings, girl.
Thank you. And we couldn't do it without you guys. We wouldn't have the platform here without you guys giving it to us. So, we're appreciative of what you guys are doing to be able to share the music and share the love. So it's so important. And I hope you guys understand that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So, Stacey, you got me a little bit pumped, and I wasn't going to do this, but because, like you said, she chills. Oh my gosh! Like you said, it almost feels like they made this song to fit your voice, if that makes sense. So, I'm gonna get into a little bit of changes. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But I want to get into a little bit.
I don't think you're cheating us like that. You should play the whole thing, but it's okay. I'm gonna sit over here. I could play it when we leave. That's fine.
I'll play the whole thing, and that's how we'll close out. Now you got me wanting.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yo, she demolishes this song, yo. Oh my gosh. Let's sit back for a minute. I know 20 rappers that would kill this beat. Oh my gosh.
The beat is just
and then the way you just.
This girl. Oh my
God. You say, baby, that things are gonna change, but it never changes right here. No. But when you call me, things seem the same. Hello. Did you make up your mind, baby? Let them out for dinner on a Friday night. Really had me working up an appetite. Had tattoos up and down his arms. Nothing more dangerous than a boy with charm. As we walk around these city streets, I'm feeling you, you're feeling me. When tomorrow comes, I wake up alone. Last night was a blur and I check my phone. You say, baby, that things are gonna change.
The song is fire! Oh my gosh, bro. It's such a vibe.
Did you make up your mind, baby? Why do I trust you when you play these games? You say, baby, that things are gonna change, but it never changes right here. No.
brand name designer down to your eyeliner. Rugged like a mountain climber, sexy no co-signer. Every curve remind you ain't another finder. Dudes wine and dine you, let me refine you to the things that's fine. Things that songs in K minor, mink coat recliners, first class like some airliners. We them headliners, more diamonds than the coal miner. Stress and pain, phantom music, rhyme record. This is K Swain.
You say, baby, that things are gonna change, but it never changes right here. No, 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 no. But when you call me, things seem the same. Hello, hello. Did you make up your mind, baby? Why do I trust you when you play these games? You say, baby, that things are gonna change, but it never changes right here. No, 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 no.
Man, listen, I just feel like I should have a cup of Hennessy and like just really chilling, like K-Swing, girl.
And I messed up earlier. And I messed up earlier. That's the song that reminded me of Lisa Stansfield when I heard it. Not the. It was that song right there.
That's not what it was giving me. It was giving me real Phyllis Hyman attitude, okay? Like, you don't understand. Like, that was like, and then, like, she was like, hello, you make up your mind? Like, listen. Oh, K-Swing.
Shout out to Mike.
Thank you.
We need to holler at Rhyme Record, too, because he came in there and killed that.
Yes, he
there.
did. He came up and he wasn't even supposed to be at, like Haj just put it out there. She's coming to town. We're going to the studio. He came out to the session. He posted up. It was so nice. It was so great. And then I'm in the booth recording, and Haj said, he said, I looked over, and he said, I saw Rhyme Record in the corner with his pen. And he was like, what are you doing? And so he wrote it and he dropped it then. And it was just, it fit in so perfect. It was so good. The whole weekend was a vibe. And it started off with recording that song in the studio. And so it was really a moment that I will cherish forever, for sure.
Girl.
I hear so many stories about when I've heard an artist say that person wasn't supposed to be on a song. They weren't supposed to, you know what I mean? And the end result, you might not have thought that they were supposed to be on there, but
it was in the plan all the time.
You didn't even know.
No, it's just how it's supposed to be, you know? Yeah, it's just how it's supposed to be. It was great.
And you can tell that it was supposed to be because it feels so organic.
Right.
It almost felt like you guys sat down and wrote that song together, like he was listening to you write your verses, and then he just sat down and just took a pen to it. You know. And
I loved his what he said when we were in the studio. I loved his outlook on his feature because, like, leading up to this song, like working on the song and leading up to it, I already thought in the back of my mind it would be great to have a feature on this, and it'd be great for somebody to rap on this. When I thought that in my brain, it would be a perspective from the dude that I'm singing about. Like, that's just what my mind naturally would go to when I thought about having someone feature on it. But I loved where he came at, which was a whole different perspective. He turned it into something that I didn't even think about. I didn't even have an idea about. He did his own thing with it. He came at it from a whole other side, a whole other perspective. So I just love everything that he did with it. It's just great.
Salute.
Definitely in rotation in my car, like at work. Listen, okay, I'm just, again, I'm a fan. I am a fan. I cannot wait for this video.
I know.
Yeah, the video. Ooh.
I'm just like, I know this video is going to be so bomb. Like, oh.
Yes. Yes. And the ideas were already flowing. They continue to flow. It's all lined up, and once it's executed, it's going to be great. And I'm very excited about it. And
I
any
mean, I'm
chance I get to
available
go
to.
back to New York, I'm happy. So I mean, it'll just be a whole great situation.
I'm
Chad, down
available.
to design because you are just beautiful. I just know that. Oh, I can't wait. I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
I'm
I'm
available
sorry.
to just come walk in the background. You know what I mean? Like, way in the background while you stand and sing, like walking in the background or something like that. Yeah, but definitely that song is.
Thank you.
That song is a whole vibe. That song is a whole vibe. Like,
Listen, that is the song that that gives you confidence. Like
Yes, it does. It forces me to be
what?
confident when I sing it. I can't sing it without being confident. And it really just all came together like Haz's brother Boo Bukowski is who produced that beat, and I've never even met him at this point. So Haz sent me the beat. I loved it immediately, and he's like, "That's my brother that produced that beat." So it's just a whole family affair, keeping it in the family and keeping it with who we're trying to build everything with, and everything has flowed wonderfully. I heard that beat, and it was again immediately.
Just the
I know I'm going to sing to this. You know what I mean? So shout out to Bukowski.
and I'm a comparing person, so I always, when I hear a song, I always try to compare the vibe that it gives me. That vibe gave me Tiana Taylor and Method Man. That
oh yes, yes. You're down to the ad libs. Listen, I'm an ad lib person, so when I am captured in a song with the ad libs, because that's me. Like that's my takeaway from every song. Oh, I'm gonna be just
And so when we
all
were in the
day.
studio, I had like most of the song, the core parts of the song, the hook was done, the verses were done. My verse was done. But Russell Pleasant came to the studio. Haz asked him to be there to help with vocals, just because he has always worked with rappers. So working with like a vocalist is a little different. So he pulled Russell Pleasant in, and Russell Plez really helped me with ad libs, and he was great. It was great to work with him. He just like immediately knew what to do, and kind of just like has that ear for it. So he and I and Haz sat in part of that studio and worked on those ad libs. So it was just great how it all came together, and to be able to work with him and get his input was great.
yeah. So Haas didn't pull him in. Phantom pulled him in. We gotta make sure that we keep that we keep getting.
Phantom of the Beast.
I don't want him to come back in the comment section and say, "I told y'all it's not Haas. It's Phantom that's in the."
You can blame it on me.
Yeah, salute to him, man. That's that. Yeah, I that song is a whole vibe for me. I love it.
Thank you.
Salute to everything that you're doing right now. Let people know how they can follow K Swain. I got like that just got a kick, like K Swain.
Yes.
How they can follow you, and especially like how can they be notified, so to speak, when you drop some more stuff in the future.
You can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm probably most active. So my music page is at the K Swain, KSWAIN. And I also have a Facebook page. You can find me on YouTube by searching Katherine Swain. All my stuff is uploaded to those sites regularly. So if anything new drops, you will be notified if you're following. And then you can find all of my 3 singles, Make Up Your Mind, Stars, and Changes, on all streaming platforms.
Okay.
And shout out to MJ again. Thank you, MJ, for all you do.
I was going to follow her on Instagram. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, my bad. I was like clicking around too, like because I have to be on it. Sorry.
Yeah. You can tell I'm a fan when I go follow you live. If I don't follow you as soon as you give your IG, I'm like,
like right away.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, we appreciate you. Like truly. Again, I know that this was kind of set up last minute, so I thank God that you were available, and this is fun. I feel like I could sit here and talk to you for another 20 minutes or so, but
we got to pick up.
Well, the Ravens on, so I got it.
I was gonna say he finna kick us off, Kay, because them Ravens is on. So
yeah, but truth be told, I also want to give you guys some time back because it's 8:30 on a Monday, and I know you got kids and all that kind of stuff going around.
Appreciate it.
But
Thank you.
man, I'm definitely a fan. I'm looking forward to everything that you have. I'm waiting for the EP or the album to drop in my inbox, and all of that kind of stuff. So definitely salute you. Please keep up the good work. Keep working. Whenever you have the opportunity, get up on that stage.
Yes.
And just sharpen that sword, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can get you on a stage in Baltimore somewhere. So if you ever want to come, just let us know because there's always something going on here. Yeah, and whatever it is, like if you need to come back, at some point in the future and promote some stuff, whatever it is, just reach out to me or have MJ reach out to me, and we'll definitely make that happen. Like I'm such a fan of what I've heard so far, and
Thank you.
definitely looking forward to more, as I believe Stacy is as well, because she just keeps smiling.
So excited.
Thank you both so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys taking your time to talk to me, and it's been great, and I can't wait to come back. So thank you so much.
Can't wait to have you back.
Yes, so
K-Swain, y'all, K-Swain.
yes.
Thank you.
That was fun, man. Like that, bro. That changes song is a whole different vibe right now. Like
I really just appreciate you always putting me on to really good artists. Like I'm so serious. I love when I get to fan out. When I just love it. I just love it. I love it.
But the dope thing about that is that I'm always just getting on. It's not like I've known these people for years.
Right.
I just, I'm acting.
People do. They get on with the good stuff and then they don't ever like to share. They want to keep it all to themselves. So
Right.
I love that you really get on and then you really you share immediately. I love that. I love that.
That's why we're about to be podcast of the year, because that's what we do.
You know what I'm saying? That's I learn from the best. I can't wait.
Come on. And do we have any news from your end about some shows that you may be bringing forth, or do we need to just?
We do. We have some news. So I am definitely officially, I had to push the date back, but I am officially launching the intro kit. I changed my nights because I have joined the amazing network of BS3 TV. So I am going to be, not only am I going to be audio, but I am going to be live on Roku on Thursdays at 6:30. Shout out to everyone that is helping me and assisting me with this project, but of course, shout out to my big brother, who I learned so much from.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
I know. It's so crazy because it's I told you I was doing homework and then I just I took off. But that's how I do. So I like to work quietly, very, very, very quietly.
Yeah, that's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say that I believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for always keeping the fire under my behind. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Phantom of the Beat. Appreciate you too, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, you're amazing. Amazing.
And Stacy's looking for beats.
Here you go.
Always put it out there.
Here you go.
I can make that connection happen.
Here you go.
Salute to that guy right there, man. But yeah, I'm proud of you, sis.
Thank you.
You said Thursday nights?
Yes, Thursday nights starting November 17th. I'm excited.
Let me tell you what's funny about this. So last Thursday morning, I woke up and I turned my TV on as I do every morning, and the TV was sparking like it was literally getting ready to catch on fire.
Oh wow!
I had to go purchase a new television, and I have a Roku TV.
How won't he do it? Look, see. See.
I have a Roku TV now. So maybe But yeah,
See, and I'm coming on Friday Eve. I'm out the way. I ain't in nobody's way. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm just very, very blessed to have just great mentors and motivators. I appreciate you, bro, so much.
Swain didn't want to leave, so we can keep her up here while we.
I don't know if I should go or not, but I wanted to listen to y'all. So.
No, you're more than welcome to stay. But I'm proud of Stacy because she's been kind of, I ain't gonna say yes, but she's been BSing getting this show off the ground.
Nice.
And then she's been, dealing with life stuff and life now that it's really here and ready. I'm proud. I'm proud.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
I feel like a proud dad right now.
You should. You should. You really should.
No, but I need to talk to you because I might need to talk to see if they got a Monday slot because
yeah, man. Listen. Shout out to the amazing, and it's crazy because these are like connections that you definitely put me on with. Shout out to my man E Digger. Definitely has been amazing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so just the connections and the help that I've been getting. It's been amazing. Like this is a project that I've been sitting on for so long. Like so long.
Like your music. like your music.
I mean, it's one thing at a time, okay?
Nah, but shout out to my man E Digger, yo. E Digger
is the man, I'm telling you.
So I met E Digger back in 2014 when I started Baltimore Flavor Radio. He's probably one of the first people to buy a T-shirt from me, and he was one of the first people to bring me in to be a co-host on Charm City Direct. Like that was probably one of the first, guest hosting spots that I had. Way back when he was up in Park Heights in the basement, he evolved a lot since then, and now he's doing this thing with his own network and his own radio station. So shout out to E Digger, man. I'm glad whatever connection I made, I'm happy that I made it, and proud of you. I can't wait to see, but I need to see if they got a spot on Monday nights because I've been trying to do some things with like Apple TV and all these other things and stuff just not working out, and yeah, I might have to holler at you about that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But shout out to the Phantom of the Beat.
Big shout out.
Yeah, and everyone that tuned in tonight, man. I know all of my Ravens fans are tuned into the game, so I'm not gonna hold y'all. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Again, be on the lookout for the Access Granted Signature Iced Tea, Long Island Iced Tea. It's coming real soon. Pre-orders. I may start taking pre-orders on Saturday. That's how soon it is. So look out for that. Shout out to my sister from Indianapolis, T-Quest, for the new background. And you can't fully see all of that stuff, but yeah, I wanted to go in a different direction with the background, so shout out to her for that. Shout out to my sister Linnea Renee, who couldn't be here tonight, and thank you, Stacy. Linnea, sit in. And that's it, man. Go to my page and click on that link and vote for Podcast of the Year and Support of the Year and Radio Show. And whenever you see my name on that ballot, just vote. I'm trying to walk away with at least 2 trophies that night. But again, big shout out to Chenier. The Baltimore Crown Awards is an amazing show. Be prepared to be there for about 4 or 5 hours because it's not going to be, no in and out situation. But November the 17th at the Garage. I'm looking forward to it, Stacy. I hope you can make it out that night.
I definitely will. Definitely will.
Swain, thank you again so much. We really appreciate it. I'm actually gonna pop that song on the radio and listen to it when I'm driving to Spock and watching the Ravens game.
Listen, I beat you to it because it's already downloaded. It's on my phone already. I got it like right here on my computer. Like literally, I'm plugged in. I'm way ahead of you, sir.
Thank
That's
you.
what
Thank
we
you.
do.
I appreciate it.
And hopefully we can make this connection, and K Swain will be our featured artist on this week's episode of Acapellas in the Future.
Yes.
So
Watch
before we
out.
start, so yeah, watch out. Watch out.
We're
You're gonna be
excited.
staying around the world and I can't find my baby. No. All right, man. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed that 70-degree weather we had today, because tomorrow it's gonna
It's
be
back
like
to normal.
45. It's gonna be like 45. So everybody, man, enjoy your evenings. We will see you guys next week. Access Brand at the Cross Stream. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Love
you
you guys.
so
Have a
much.
good, guys.
Good night.